If a guy tells me he's like 6 or 6'1", I'm like, so you're 5'10".
Yeah, exactly. You just have to knock a couple inches off. Always.
These two girls are like streamers. They brought the streaming thing. And we're going to, as a joke, while they're streaming, walk up and be like, hello, simps. Bow to your leader, simps, like to the simps on their thing.
If you think about it, when we do call our friend, who you know who I'm talking about, a simp, we are bullying him, technically speaking.
Do you have any friends who are reckless drivers?
I might be that friend.
I was gonna say, I feel like I might be the one.
All actions have consequences.
Should.
They can be good.
Should have consequences, but they don't.
Everything.
When you guys check out, you check out before you mentally let us know that you checked out.
There's this new thing that the boys are doing. It's a new strategy. It's called love bombing.
Women tend to emotionally connect with men when they have sex with them.
I do think should be a little bit more bullying that goes on now. I think we
There
swung
should be
too
more
far.
bullying.
Oh, it's not the women. It's the men.
Oh, it definitely is the women.
It's value in me as a human if I sleep with him because I
You're
want to sleep with him.
overthinking the concept.
I might be.
It's going to tear apart the entire fabric of society over the long period of time.
That feels a little dramatic.
Is that 3 months?
It works, yeah.
And you just don't have
3 months?
You're just celibate
Who
for
is
3
waiting
months.
Nothing
that
physical.
long?
I did.
Really?
Yeah. Your emotional connection comes first. And once you build that emotional connection and somebody is willing to make that emotional connection or make that sacrifice to build that emotional connection is the person you want to be with. Welcome to Unattainable. Glad to have you with us and hope you continue to be a part of our family for the foreseeable future. And if so, please hit that subscribe button. I'm Mohammed Malai here with my incredible co-host, Zach Evans, and our amazing special guest of the day, Kendall and Payton.
Hi.
How's it going?
What an intro. That was amazing.
I just
Well,
never
thank
realized
you.
what a huge dork you were, and I just saw it all in that moment.
Wow.
The real dork is coming out right
Fired.
now.
Well,
Like, I knew
we
you
can
weren't,
kick
like-
her off the show.
Yeah,
Security.
that's it. Done.
Get her out
Wrap
of here.
it up. Wrap it
I'm
up.
friends with security at this point. Now. They keep me around. The new leather jacket though helps with the cool guy image. You're fooling
It does.
everyone else.
I'm very cool,
you're
yes,
you're
very cool.
giving cool guy right now.
He's 9 out of 10 cool.
Like on a scale of like 1 to Brad Pitt, how cool would you say he looks? Right
I'd say you're pretty close. I'd say you're
Brad
about
Pitt's
like a
old. He's old.
you're
yeah.
but you have a vibe.
He's like cool though. Like DNA cool.
Yeah, of course.
Brad Pitt's definitely that guy. 100%.
I feel like anyone named Brad, like Bradley Cooper, is also like
Oh,
really cool.
yeah. I feel like you just have to be hot to have the name Brad. I don't know.
Brad and Chad.
I had a big
Brad
crush on a
and
boy
Chad.
named Brad since I was like in 5th grade, and I loved him. And our school had like 2 grades in one building, 2 grades in the other. So every other year, he was a grade older. So every other year, I got to like see him and be around him again and be like, there he is in the hallway. And I'd like learn his schedule, and yeah, it was pretty steamy. And then nothing ever happened. I was friends with his younger sister. And
That
then
was
like
your
years
in.
later, he claimed, when I was like home for the holidays, he claimed that he always wanted to do something, but he couldn't because I was friends with his sister and she'd be so mad. And he was like, can we just like have one kiss just so I know what it would be like? And so we like drunkenly kissed in the back of a car. And I was like, oh,
Was it everything you hoped for?
nope.
It never is it?
I was like,
It never lives up to the
It
hype.
would have been fun when I was 14, but at this point,
Right.
yeah, it was just kind of like,
Too
this
late.
feels a little sad.
Too late.
But at least you can say you did it. Got it out of your system.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, yeah. What age are you in 5th grade? Like 10 or whatever.
Yeah.
Like 10-year-old Kendall, 12-year-old Kendall, whatever that age is,
Oh,
was
for
like,
sure.
I was like,
It's like Burning Man.
That's a
It's
win.
Like,
That's
do it
a win.
once to say you did it, but then it's
Yeah.
not actually like fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
I almost
But-
like it better when it remains like a mystery and you're
Yeah, I
like
think
it's
so.
like it's just keeps you like always thinking about it and you're just like, oh, what could have been, you know what I mean?
There's some people in this world, like my first ever celebrity crush, still to this day, was Usher. No one can beat him in my eyes. I don't ever want to meet him. When I used to nanny, I nannied these kids that went to the same school as his kids did. And I met his kids, like, because they were all friends. And I was like, we got to go fast, because if your dad's coming, like, I don't want to meet him. I know he's short. He's kind of a small guy. I'm tall. Like, I don't want to ruin the illusion. I want him to remain this, like, perfect celebrity crush in my mind forever. And I don't ever want that ruined. So I don't ever want to meet him. I just want it to maintain perfect.
What do you think about short guys in general? Have you ever dated a guy shorter than you?
It's fun, but when you're, I think, remember when you were a little girl and you looked up to these people?
when you were.
I feel attacked on this podcast today.
There's like something very like big and like grand about the people that you like look up to like that. And it has, I've dated guys shorter than me now as an adult, but I've made that decision as an adult. As a kid, I still want him to be this like, I don't know.
Big grown, yeah.
And it is like I'm putting him on a pedestal, so I guess it's, we're not doing that these days, but.
Yeah. I sat behind him at Fashion Week one time.
Yeah.
He was pretty cool. He is short though, in person, so.
So
sorry for your dreams.
Sorry to ruin your dreams, but
I've never seen it, so I'm fine. I'm good. In my head, he's
it's
still
the illusion.
He's still this like perfection.
You got to get much closer to that mic.
Really?
Yeah, I mean that explains why you wanted headphones.
Hello.
That's much better. You've never dated a guy shorter than you?
No, I haven't.
How tall are you?
I'm 5'7".
Oh, okay.
Well, that would be.
That's okay.
Yeah.
How tall are you?
I'm almost 5'11". It's pretty easy to meet guys.
Yeah, she's
I
like
feel
5'10"
that
and a half.
Yeah. And then guys are always lying about their heights. So, how many times have you been told that you're over 6 foot because of that?
Yeah, exactly right. If a guy tells me he's like 6 or 6'1", I'm like, so you're 5'10".
Yeah, exactly. You just have to
You're
knock a couple inches off.
That's
always.
Fine.
It's okay.
We can be the same height.
Yeah.
That's okay. I'm not upset about it.
I've seen girls like whip out measuring tapes for guys.
Oh, I'm gonna
and
do that at the
they
bar.
lie. They lie 100%
Thank God
of the
you
time.
said whip out measuring tape. I was like, Jesus, this conversation is taking a different turn.
Oh God, no! I want to start doing that at the bar though.
Oh, you would hurt
And
so
you're
many
how tall?
feelings. I know, right? What was that again?
Say it one more time.
We should do
Bring
that.
out the tape. Let's go.
Roll the
We
tapes.
should do that. We should have a hot girl walk up to the guys at the bar and be like, how tall are you? And they'll say something. And then we walk up right after with a measuring tape and be like, prove it.
And see how many
Like
people
Taylor's,
actually
like-
want to do it.
That would be a great
I'll be that
TikTok
girl.
series.
That
Yeah.
would be a
great
good TikTok series.
Nobody steal it. Fuck that.
Yeah.
I'm doing it.
All right.
Don't air this until we've done it at least once.
And then we
That
say,
has
how
to be
big
the
is your
outro.
dick?
Well,
Pull out the measuring tape. That's for kick only, though.
you gotta find another girl.
insane.
Let's go to the bathroom. Let's go.
Let's go. Measure it up.
The only,
Wait.
Hold on.
Let me just
Give me a minute. Give me a minute.
I'm a grower, not a shower.
well, the only platform we're going to be able to put that on is OnlyFans, unfortunately.
No, I think Kick. Isn't Kick the new one? You can
What
do whatever
is
the fuck you
Kick?
want.
What is Kick?
It's like the new Twitch.
No,
It's like
no.
the fake
What
Twitch.
is
Yeah,
Kick?
yeah.
I only know of Kick as like
No, people are getting
messaging.
kicked off Kick too.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait, you guys are really leaving us in
kicked
the
off
dark.
Kick. I've never even heard of this.
Is it
Get up with the
KIK?
times. I think so, yeah.
That's the messaging
So,
app.
what's
It
the-
used to be the
Yeah.
messaging app, but now they're doing a streaming play. So now you just stream.
Oh.
Oh, so they've updated.
All the people
they
who got
rebranded.
banned from Twitch, they all are going to Kick now.
Of course.
Yeah, so people got banned from Twitch,
banned
and then
from
Kick was like, let's take advantage of this opportunity. Because people get kicked off Twitch for like craziest shit. Like you could stream on Twitch. So like, okay, this is a thing. This is an actual thing. You guys don't stream on Twitch, do you?
No.
Okay. So you could
You know
stream
how old I am?
on Twitch, but you have to like be fully clothed. Okay.
Well, okay.
which is
seems
like
like a
fine.
That seems
No-brainer.
valid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. But if you wear a bikini, right? Or like if you're showing too much cleavage, stuff like that, you could get kicked off.
I know,
Now
I'm
I
like,
just
you
want to
better-
like, hello.
But now, but here's the kicker: if you're somewhere that there's water, then that's fine. You could wear a bikini. So what people do is they get these little like pools, like the blow up pools, and they put water in it,
In their
and they
house.
put it in their bedroom, and then go sit inside
It's a brand
and wear
new-
bikinis,
Oh my
Wow.
God. That
and
just
so they can't get kicked off.
that's a level of censorship that I'm totally fine with.
Wow.
Like, okay, if there's kids on an app, we don't want to be showing full nudity, fine.
Right.
But a bathing suit, really?
Everything's still covered at that point. I mean, sometimes I guess.
I guess it depends on the kind of bathing suit.
Well, that's
I've
the thing.
seen some.
Some of this shit is like dental floss nowadays. Like,
I have seen
shit.
some.
Oh, floss. That's funny.
No, we almost
Is that
got.
what you wear to the pool?
Of course.
Your
Gotta
dental?
show off the rock and bod, obviously. But we're in Palm Springs, not the last trip, the first trip we went on this year. And there's these two girls are like streamers. They brought their streaming thing. And we're going to, as a joke, while they're streaming, walk up and be like, hello, simps. Bow to your leader, simps, like to the simps on their thing.
Yeah.
And like we're telling them, oh yeah, we're going to prank you guys. They're like, no, you can't say the word simp because like they could kick you off for that.
Really?
I'm like, simp?
When did
What
that
were they-
become a?
I know. Like simp is just like a way to describe people. It's not even like a
Yeah.
Is
derogatory.
that short for something? What is that actually?
I
Like,
feel like the
like a really
definition of
simp
simp has
person,
changed
yeah.
over the years.
Probably simple.
simple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe.
But it's a derogatory bullying term now.
It's
Well,
bullying
isn't everything?
now.
Every word comes
What?
around to be offensive. At
It's
some
not really a
point.
bullying term. It's just if you're being a simp.
Then
They
you're
call
being
you
a
Well,
simp.
I mean,
Yeah.
if you think about it, when we do call our friend, who you know who I'm talking about, a simp, we are bullying him, technically speaking.
Well, we're letting him know maybe he should
different
stand
with
up for himself. A little
friends.
bit.
Yeah.
But we are
on.
bullying him
Bullying is a strong.
in so many terms.
Yeah, but it's a friend. That's different.
That's, I know, but if you really think about it, he's like, we're not doing it because he feels good about it. You know,
Kids, go bully your friends.
We're insulting him. You know what I mean? Like,
I
let's
do-
be honest.
I do think should be a little bit more bullying that goes on now. Like, I think we
There should
swung
be
too
Kids
more
far.
are too weak.
bullying.
Kids
Yeah.
are too weak these
No,
days.
people think all the anxiety, all this mental health stuff is because people have too much trauma. It's the other way. It's because they don't have enough trauma. I'm dead serious.
Bullying
Hold on.
does
wait,
work
wait.
Not for everybody,
I
but
don't
for most
think.
people.
Wait, we need to back up. We need to
Okay.
be really careful about what we say because we do not think that kids should be bullied. No one
Kids
needs to be
no,
bullied.
because
No one needs to be a bully. But I do think that things are really cushy for not even just kids, but for
everyone's the
trickling down
sensitivity
from,
level has gotten
like millennials
a lot
and younger.
higher over the years. I would
Yeah,
say.
and there's obviously we want to be, but it's just you know what we're in a weird time where the pendulum is swinging because we
Right.
were so insensitive to so many people for
Right.
so long, and now we have to be okay. Like, well, now we're learning all the things, and now we're applying all the things that we've just learned, and we have to figure out how to do that. And then after that hurdle, I think we're gonna go, okay, so actually. Now that we know how to do this with respect, there are some ways we can still, I mean, because comedy is going to exist no matter what we do. We're always going to want to like poke fun at people and find ways to like call your friend a simp or whatever. But I don't know. I think we're just like in this weird time of like, we're all still learning. We're still figuring it out. Some of us, I think, have known a lot of this for a while. So we're a little bit bored and restless with it. But then you look at like other parts of the country and people are still like, not great to each other.
That's true. I guess we do live in a place.
Yeah,
where
but there's a
everyone
difference
is.
between long term being good to somebody and short term.
But
Like
then
if your friend's being a simp, and you're like, you're
Back to
great
the
just
simp.
the way you are. You keep licking the ground she walks on. She's gonna love you forever. And then she breaks up with him because he's being a simp. And then he goes to the next girl and he does the same thing. And he keeps being. He's lonely the rest of his life because nobody called him a simp. And be like, yo, you got it. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Is that
it-
bullying or is that being real? Is that
But
like
that's a
being
weak argument
friend?
because you can have
And-
a
yeah.
conversation and say
Yeah,
like,
that's- I
look,
feel like
she's
that's a
walking all over you and you're
conversation.
allowing
Yeah.
that to happen.
Yeah, but you can
You don't
say
need
it in
a
like
mean
4
word.
words. Don't be a simp. 4 words, conversation over. You know, and here's the thing: if you're too nice, and they're like, "Oh, maybe I'll do it, maybe," and everyone's like, "You're being a simp, bro." Then you get made fun of. Everybody's laughing at you. That shit
Okay, fine, but that's the
hits you,
shorthand.
you know?
I think you have to establish the conversation first, and then once you've had like the
And
gentle
build.
talk, then you can say like, "You're doing that again. You're doing that thing again," and you can call it whatever the. Can we swear?
You could swear.
Yeah.
I swear all the
You can
time.
call it whatever the you want.
Do you have any friends who are reckless drivers?
I might be that friend.
I was gonna say, I feel like I might be the one.
I'm a very courteous driver, but I'm good at driving and I like driving, and so I will kind of be like, I can fit through there.
Why are you talking about
I'm
reckless
the
driving?
same.
Because-
Yeah.
because- okay.
Where are we leading?
If you have somebody, I have a couple friends, reckless drivers. Reckless driver almost getting an accident this close, right? Oh my God, that's so crazy. Next day, reckless driver, almost getting another accident. Oh my God, that's so crazy. The only time they stop being a reckless driver is when they actually get in the car accident and they total their car and they have to pay $10,000 for the repairs on their car and they have to pay their insurance goes up, blah, blah, blah. If you tell somebody nicely, they're not going to change. They need to feel it.
I see
you know
what
I'm
you're saying, but then that goes back to like the age-old thing. You can't teach anybody. You can't tell anybody how to be. You're never going to teach somebody what to do. They have to go through it on their own. So you can bully them all you want.
I'm not saying like
I
stick
feel
the
like
head in the
bullying
toilet, like that kind of
isn't even like
bullying.
the
Make
word. I
their
feel like
same
that's just even
mistake.
having just like a conversation, not even bullying, because you can have tough love and it doesn't have to be bullying.
You're just talking about. I think this is an argument of semantics.
But here's the problem. So nowadays, you go to a grocery store and there's a kid with his parents, and and yelling and screaming and running around like a moron. And the parents just standing there acting like everything is normal. That ain't normal. And if you talk to the parent, you'd be like, hey, like, what's up? Oh, it's just a kid. No, that's unacceptable. And the kid should know that. Me and my brother got in a fight when we were kids. And apparently we like beat each other up. I don't remember what it was. My mom and my dad kicked us out of the house in the middle of the night during winter when it was snowing out. And like they didn't let us in for like 2 hours while we were outside crying, banging on the door, trying to get back in. And they were like, you guys need to resolve your or you're not coming back in.
Sure.
And I mean, here's the thing. Like, I wouldn't consider that abuse. I'd be like, no. I did something, then the repercussions of my action.
Well, and you push them to the edge, and they told you in that moment, we have a boundary, and you're crossing it, and you're not respecting it.
Yeah, you steal something, you should go to jail. You know what I mean? So it's like we did something that then they decided this is the way to discipline them, right? But there has to be something that you got to do in order to discipline your children.
All actions have consequences.
They
can be good.
Should have consequences, but they don't.
Everything does.
Just the law of like, I don't know. I'm not going to say physics, but let's in this analogy, the law of physics is you push something, it moves, and it's going to keep moving until it loses momentum or it hits a wall or or you pick it up or whatever. That all actions have consequences. It might not be that the consequence is being doled out by the parent necessarily, but that is still informing that kid, or it's informing the people around you, or it's creating, a tense relationship, or it's creating that kid, into like an asshole adult who's a very, entitled, whatever. But like consequences are happening. I think the role of a parent is to get on top of honing that consequence and saying, here are the consequences of every single one of these actions. You get to choose the action, but I'm just telling you what the consequences are going to be. That's what the role of a parent is. And that's where we lead by example. And that's where, you make a kid shut up who's, okay, we're going home. You won't calm down. You won't be quiet. We're going home. We're having quiet time. Or you're sitting in the car for 5 minutes while I'm talk to somebody outside on the phone, within the realm of safety and, and everything like that. But I totally agree. I think that that's happening. But then the opposite of that is also true, where there's, well, tell me what's going on. Use your words. I'm here. Yeah. I'm here, to like a 2-year-old who can barely say, I'm hungry. And they're sitting there being like, Stephanie's just having a really hard moment right now. So we're just going to let her use her words and come to, Sometimes the kids need to get, kicked out of the house for a couple hours. I mean, obviously not a 2-year-old, but you know what I mean, within reason, of course. I think both ends, I think it goes back to our conversation of sensitivities and trying to kind of be oversensitive. We're doing that. I see that so much with, I don't know, 18 years and younger, I'd say, 18-year-olds and younger, where they've grown up in this either super cushy, we're going to figure it out, everything's taken care of, and they don't know how to go out and buy a steak and cut it up and cook it. You know what they don't know how, or clean up after themselves or say thank you, or wipe their own asses. And you have the opposite, where you have people who are also they walk into every room, and not in a good way, but as if they own it because they've never been given boundaries. So it's this whole, we've lost the middle. I feel so much, I could ramble on about this forever. I feel so much of our country lost these middle grounds in so many avenues, wealth being one of those things. We're just we're either down here or way up here, and there's nothing in the middle. And that's something that, going back to what I said earlier, as the pendulum swings, I think we're going to slowly start swinging back in the middle. But then it'll be something else that we overcorrect for or whatever. I don't really have a point to any of this. I'm just saying I hear you. I know what you're saying, and I see that happening, but I also see, it happens.
For sure, yeah. And I'm sure people are going to comment on this and be like, oh, you guys don't have kids, and you don't know what you're talking about.
I have nannied for over a decade. I've nannied from 5 months to I guess I didn't really nanny the 9 and 10-year-olds, but I dealt with them from every age. I've been there. I've done that. I've been a mom so many times over. I know what I'm talking about. Obviously, I get to go home at the end of the day, so it's a little bit different. I understand that I don't know, I've never birthed anyone. I've never even been pregnant. Like, I understand there's a big difference.
Yeah,
but I've had a lot of experience on a day-to-day, like real day-to-day level.
I used to be a kid. So I have the most experience,
I
literally
never
from the horse's mouth. Like I have the exact
came
experience.
out full-grown
I
adult.
never did that. I just I looked at that and I was like, too
mature
messy.
and ready.
It's not for me. Too messy.
That's hilarious. Are you guys wanting to have kids?
Oh God.
I'm on the fence about it. I'm not sure. I'm not like I need
Crazy
kids.
about
Yeah. I feel like a lot of my friends
So
are
this is what we needed to do in the very beginning, which kind of we missed because Kendall loves to talk.
I was your worst guest because you're never going to show me up. I'm going to be here. You guys are going to go to bed and I'm still going to be talking in the camera.
No, I think
making points.
that was the whole point of wanting you on the show. But the very first thing we usually do is kind of introducing yourselves and then how old you are and then what you do and all that stuff, which neither of you did. So what you start and then Kendall could begin because that story could go along.
Because we're going to have to cut
You just give me a light when to come in and then when that light goes out, I'll just stop talking.
That's hilarious. Yeah. I'm Payton. I'm from LA and I manage a Pilates studio. I'm 24 and yeah, I've been out here my whole life. I don't plan on leaving anytime soon. I love it out here.
You were born and raised in LA.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
What part of LA?
I grew up, so I say LA because people who aren't from California, they're like, I say Corona and they're like, oh my God, where is that? And it's just like 45 minutes away from here. So I always grew up coming to LA. My dad lived in LA the 80s, 90s. My mom was in LA too. So
LA native.
mm-hmm.
Awesome. We'll come back to that.
Yes.
Kendall, go ahead.
I'm Kendall. I'm from Michigan, Ann Arbor, Michigan, and you'll hear it in the A's every now and then when I speak. And I act, and so I'm not doing anything right now. I'm like just
strike.
Just at the picket lines and wearing my union shirts and carrying signs and.
Did you say how old you are?
No, I didn't. Next question.
Skip, please.
All right, we'll imagine you're 21.
I'm only 24.
Are you actually?
If I look it, then yes.
Oh,
then
okay.
Yeah.
All right. The other day I got 26, and I was like, that is
I could see.
just.
We stopped aging when we moved to LA.
Yeah.
There's something that
I
happens.
highly
Something in the
disagree.
water.
Botox.
I don't know what you're talking about.
What do you mean?
I haven't had Botox in
Botox.
like years.
Because it's definitely not the smog in the air.
Oh God. I know, but there's some, when I go home to Michigan and, and I love my Michigan people, but it's a very different, it's a different diet. It's a different lifestyle. You see it like in people's like eyes and in their skin. And
it's attitude. Because Wisconsin's the same way. I go back to Wisconsin.
So nice there.
But I'm saying like attitude is in terms of like, oh, it's time to grow up. All right, like I'm a dad now. Like I'm gonna like go build.
The timeline there is so
like,
different than
I
it
was
is here.
I was just having this situationship with this 40-year-old man who's age appropriate. He's age appropriate. He's 40.
Uh-huh.
So like just cute as a button, just
Like
just
cute?
a really
You mean little?
swell guy. No,
okay.
no, not in any respect. But
Okay.
but then I'm like looking at these dating apps and stuff. Like I'm on Raya and I'm swiping, and like these other guys pop up that are 40, and I'm like, well that just looks old. That just doesn't seem. And not, again, oh God, I'm gonna put my foot in my mouth. I have nothing against 40-year-olds, but do you know what I mean? Like when people are from different places, I don't know. You just sort of like fall into the lifestyle, and in my head, I'm like, that's what a 40-year-old looks like. And then I go to Michigan and I see a 40-year-old. I'm like, no, that's what a 40-year-old looks like.
No, I was talking to one of our guests yesterday about this because she was like, I was like, what's your line? And she was like, I don't know, like, 40-ish kind of stuff like that. And then I brought up Brian Johnson, who's a millionaire and spends like $2 million a year on reverse aging. Well, right now he's
is this the guy that
slowing
is
down
like
aging.
stealing whatever from his son? He's like
Son and father, not stealing. They're just swapping it.
Where have I been?
I haven't heard about this either.
But I mean, he takes
He's
100
weirdos,
supplements a day, and his diet is just insane. And he does testing every single day. But he's about 50 years old. I believe. I got to double check this.
Does he look 50?
I think I'm right, but he does not. He looks mid-30s, late 30s if you're really like trying to, be mean to him. But he looks great. But the point of the matter is that I think you could meet somebody who looks, 60 years old,
So
and
sorry,
then
burp right into the microphone.
we could cut that out. It's fine.
No, keep it in. I want it.
Amplify it. Mo.
Yeah.
Put the compressor.
I'll
on.
do
Actually,
another
put an
one.
echo on it, and then
I'll do another one later. That's extra loud.
And you could look like you're 60 years old and then just be like 45, or you could be 35 and then, or sorry, you could be 60 years old and look like you're 40. So in this particular case, he is 40. He looks how old?
I'm not.
He
First of all,
looks
I'm
old.
not a good judge of age, especially not in this.
But the
city.
40-year-old one that you're dating,
He looks like an adult man. That's what he looks like. He doesn't look
like 30.
too
like an
old.
age, like a certain.
Yeah, I get.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't know. But then, like, my point is, when I go home to Michigan and you see somebody 40 there, they look like when you were a kid and 40 felt like it
Right.
was so old. Like
Right.
that's a real adult. Like that's kind of the image, And,
Yeah.
But out here, I don't know. People like reverse age or Botox. I mean, he doesn't. But there's just.
How long have you guys
been
been seeing each other?
We're not seeing each other anymore.
Oh,
It was
not
a
anymore.
situation. No, I think we'll be lovely, lovely friends, and maybe one day something else. But
What happened? What's the problem?
oh my god, he's gonna know. No one else is gonna. My mom doesn't even know about this guy, so no one's gonna know who this is except for him if he ever sees this. But he has a daughter who's 11. Was previously married, no longer. And I think has been kind of tentative about bringing people into his life, which makes sense. He's got a daughter. And had somebody a little while ago that he was like really close with, felt like things were moving forward, and then it just kind of all blew up. And so I think he's still, even though he told me, he's not like interested in that person, he's still recovering from like the traumatic exit that person took in his life.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a sad story. Like it just that he's just, I think we both really like each other. It just
Just
isn't
emotionally
it's-
unavailable.
Not ready.
Yeah. And and he was like, I thought I could, but it's too much for me. I'm like, take your time.
I feel for him.
Maybe we circle back at some point, sometimes it's just wrong timing, but I don't know. I just never like anybody. I love people clearly, but when I'm like, I don't know, meeting people on the apps or like you're out somewhere and you're kind of like scanning, okay, like who might I be interested in here? I'm like, no one does it
Slim.
for me. So yeah. So when I do find someone that I click with like that, I'm like, don't leave.
Hold on to them. Yeah.
Well, but that's what I felt. When I was younger, I think I did like, I'll fix it. I'll change, whatever I need to change about myself, to keep you here, and I'll do what you need me to do and whatever. And I just realized like, if you have to try to convince somebody to want to be in a relationship with you, it's just not going to happen.
Yeah, of course. Payton, are you seeing anyone?
I am in a little situation right now too. Yeah.
Jesus Christ, these women.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not the women. It's the men.
Oh, it definitely is the women.
I
We'll
can't tell
get
you
there.
how many guys they've been like, I'm so into you. Like maybe this is just casual. And then like the next week they're like, look, I thought I could do it. I'm just not ready for a real relationship.
I feel like I'm the one who's always like that. in
Okay. Well, so maybe it is the women.
I definitely am, as of lately, have been the one that just cuts it off. I was in a long relationship for a long time. I was in a relationship for 5 years and broke that off at the beginning of this year. And
Since
I've
you were,
just kind of been
21?
19, yeah.
19.
19
I
to
had
20.
a similar 18 to 22.
Yeah.
Wait, sorry, you
20
said you're 26.
I'm 24.
24. You said you're
Yes.
24. I'm confused. Okay, so you started. Okay, this just ended.
Just ended this year.
Oh, okay.
Mhm. Just ended this year. I broke things off, and I've just kind of been enjoying the single life.
Fuckboy phase of your life.
I am in a
You
fuckboy
have
phase of
to.
my life. Yeah.
You have
Yeah.
to be a little
very
I've
important
never been
phase,
single.
I agree.
I had never been single in my adult life. So I was like, I just need to.
Why did it end?
It was my decision. We just were growing in different ways. I was living out here and he was living back in Corona. So it was just time to...
Not that far. It's a 30-minute drive.
Yeah, except I was the only one that was willing to
drive.
The drive.
He didn't. It's. I feel like it's a. I don't know. I don't want to be judgmental. Like I have friends that stayed in
But this
Michigan.
is the whole point of the show, to be judgmental.
It's just
We're
a different,
judging.
like growth direction
we
where
were-
he doesn't want to leave. He wants
Right.
to stay home, and you don't. And
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong with either of those
Of
options.
course.
But
Yeah, he was out here for a little bit, tried to do the thing, and then moved back. So, and I had stayed here. My family now left California, so I had nowhere else to go besides here. And yeah, it was just growing in different ways. Still have, love for him, but yeah, it was just the relationship like fizzled out. And it had been, I think both of us kind of knew that it was over.
Did he agree?
For a while? Yeah, we actually didn't even really have like a breakup conversation.
Interesting.
I hadn't really seen him in a while. It was in like the end like fizzle out stage, and hadn't seen him in a minute. And then I asked him one day, I was like, you know what, like I'm gonna be out in Orange County. I would love if I could stop by your house and like we could have a conversation. And he was like, today's not a good day. And I was like, oh, okay.
Wow.
And then after that, like the next like few days was just us kind of like trying to figure out when to have a conversation. Never even really ended up happening. And then it just kind of like fizzled out from that. And it was really like
he was avoiding the conversation.
it was very avoidant.
But you don't think he was seeing somebody else?
I don't think he was seeing somebody else. No. Yeah, I think that.
But like at that point,
at that,
when your heart's not in it. Like,
yeah, and
I
like
had a similar thing where by the end of it, I was just like, I don't care if you cheated on me. Like I'm done. I'm checked out.
Yeah, I was checked out for sure. And I think I've heard that girls do that we are the ones who check out of a relationship a lot sooner than the men do. And we kind of like keep it going longer than we should. I don't know. At least in my case.
Because by
I feel like I
nature,
do
we're
that.
loyal, protective creatures.
Exactly.
But, women kind of...
Go on.
What are you getting at here?
Tell me about women.
Here's
Mo.
the problem. The problem is that when you guys check out, you check out before you mentally let us know that you checked out.
Yeah,
I agree with that. I agree.
And it comes from a good
and
place.
I did do that.
It comes from a good place.
I was trying to make it work, and I was like, you know what? I have faith. Like we can do this. And then like each day was like, this is not going to work. This is not going to work.
Yeah.
And like I started each day hopeful, and at the end it was just like, no, this is not going to work. And that went on for a while before I finally, pulled the trigger and was like,
Which, to be fair, there's no like perfect time to do it.
No, of course.
It's a gradual decline. It's not like, all right here, we're gonna cut it off. It's just kind of like.
And it's hard to let go of someone. You can still care about them.
Of course,
it's hard to let go of that person. And unfortunately, I think when we're younger, we do hold on to them for as you were saying, like longer than we should, until we get to that point where we're like, I don't care anymore, because it's easier to let go of somebody when you don't care than when you do. But I think like as you date and as you just have more experience with that, you're like, I know how this is going to end. I know what's going to happen. Let's just end it now before we're both like miserable and wasting each other's time. And I think that just takes time and experience. Yeah. Unfortunately, I've had a lot of experience.
How many people have you been with? Not like had sex with. I mean like relation. How many people have you like been in a relationship with?
That's a tough. I mean,
what 2,000?
No. Like I've had maybe like 2 serious boyfriends.
Okay.
But then, you date someone for like a couple months and you think something's going to happen, and then you just kind of fizzle out or
You think you're the problem or the men are?
Survey says you are the problem. That's just one of my most insecure thoughts. So thank you for bringing that up. No, I actually felt for a while, I'm like, what am I doing? Because I kept getting these people that, like I said before, were like, you're so great. Like, I can't believe you'd be interested in me, is like what I've heard sometimes. And then all of a sudden they're like, I'm just not ready to like date right now. I'm like, what the we're coming on.
It's always the ones who approach you.
And then they're like, I just don't think I want what you want. And I'm like, you are the one. And so I kept thinking like, well, maybe it's something that I'm doing that. I'm a very secure person in a lot of ways, not in every single way. We all have our insecurities and we all have our bad days, but I'm a very, just by nature, didn't really work on it. Like I just kind of got lucky in that like I feel at home pretty much everywhere I go. And if I don't, that's when I know it's time to leave. But I feel at home in a lot of places. And I think that can be, as I've found, can be intimidating to some people, specifically men when we're, exploring a romantic thing. Cause I think I don't know. This is just me spitballing here. I don't know because I've never been the psycho that like called up anyone to be like, so why was it that you wanted to fix it? Like, but I have been told a couple times I can be intimidating. So I'm like, okay, maybe that's a factor. Maybe like I was really open to the affection or the attention or to the gas pedal that you were, stepping on. And so that freaked you out. I don't know. But then I also think like maybe I'm just like a really wonderful person that people fall in love with really easily. I don't know. Maybe I'm not the problem. Maybe I'm just the answer to everyone. No, I don't know. I think it's a combination of things. I don't think I'm giving off any sort of like desperate vibe. I mean, I don't know. You guys know me. I don't think I've ever seemed that way. Maybe, a handful of times here or there with like specific guys, as we've all, I'm sure, been guilty of. But I don't know. I think I'm like maybe a little charming, and then people get pulled in and then they go, oh, that was more superficial than I thought it was. And this isn't the person I want to date. And that's fine.
Interesting. We'll come back to that.
Okay.
I have some thoughts, but I need to process them.
I have one thought.
What? Tell me your thought.
So there's this new thing that the boys are doing. It's a new strategy. It's called love bombing.
I was gonna say.
Maybe they're love bombing.
I think
it's the opposite of what you think a fuckboy would do.
I think it's a little bit. I do think there have been a couple incidences of that, but I'm like pretty good at
reading it.
Yeah, I've definitely been deceived. I'm not, impervious to it, but like, I think I kind of see it, and I'm like, or at the very least, I've been hurt enough in the past that I'm like, even if this is true, I'm still gonna keep a little distance because I don't know when it's gonna turn, but I feel like it could, and I kind of keep waiting. But maybe that's maybe because I'm putting out that energy, maybe that's why guys are like.
I feel like I fall for love bombing every single time. I'm like, I love the attention.
Girl,
no, because
I'm
like,
I'm
like, why wouldn't you be in love with me after 3 days? Like, obviously. And then I'm like, oh.
I was so surprised when I found out that works. Because like, I was like, wait, love
you
bombing?
Tried it?
Are you trying it out? Are you experimenting? So I used to be
a boy. I'm a recovering boy. Yeah, now I'm very
and we're so proud of you.
And shy, yeah.
That's what, like 5 years? 5 years clean and sober?
How long have I been in LA so far? Love bombing is like what guys who are like the opposite of what a fuckboy, the guy that the girls always friend zone is typically the love bombers. Oh, I'm so in love. I'll get you flowers on a first date, do all this romantic shit. And usually those are like the guys who are always getting friend zone. So when I heard love bombing was tricking all these girls, blah, 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 I was like, y'all don't even like this. Like, what do you mean? How are you guys getting tricked by this?
So
it was confusing.
Well, no, there's a process to it. You can't do it that way.
How does
can't come on
Are you an expert love bomber?
Step by step.
You're an expert love bomber.
As the professional, tell us.
I'm not the professional in this area. I just know stuff. So, Jesus Christ.
Let's teach our listeners and viewers
how
to love bomb and manipulate.
There's a validation process you have to go through. And the validation process requires the person to like you for who you are, which is the opposite of a simp. We gotta have a different private conversation on this one. I can't really. Yeah. There are things that I want to say that I really can't say.
Why can't you say them?
Well, because they're just like they're not good. You know what I mean? I don't want society to like learn these things.
Oh, I see.
And it's just like take advantage of women. I'm an advocate for women, really. You know, even though that I'm not trying to come at you guys in any way, shape, or form, but I am trying to fix.
No one thinks that.
I'm trying to fix the world is what I try to do.
Yeah.
And I think one of the things that comes at me when you were talking about your situation was, and you don't have to answer this if you don't want to, because I know it's a little bit of a private thing, but I know you and I have been, baby. Yeah, I know, but we've been friends long enough for me to be okay asking you this. Have you tried not, and I don't know if you do, you know, we haven't particularly talked about this, but have you tried not sleeping with them too early?
Yeah.
And it still doesn't work? Yeah,
I mean, I don't know when too early is, to be honest, but like
3 months.
First, oh God, no.
Is that 3 months?
It works, yeah.
And you just don't have
3 months.
You're just celibate
Who
for
is
3
waiting
months.
Nothing
that
physical.
long?
I did.
Really?
Yeah. I was the one who initiated that.
experience?
I was the one who initiated that with my ex. Of this is not the recent one, with the one before that, and she was like, why are you doing? And she was like throwing herself at me, and I was like, yeah, we're not having sex, and we'd like make out and stuff, and then I'd like drop her off and be like, you don't want to come inside? I was like, no. And so she would go. So like after we had sex, she'd have conversations with her friends that she told me she did, and she'd be like, we had two theories. One was that like you had something, or that like you had a really small dick and like you were worried. And I was like, well, neither was true. So
yeah, I don't know about 3 months. I hear what you're saying, and I respect that you wanted to get to know her. But I will say that's great that it was good.
It's not even about getting to know her. It's that your emotional connection comes first. And once you build that emotional connection, and somebody is willing to make that emotional connection or make that sacrifice to build that emotional connection, is the person you want to be with.
I feel like you can also build an emotional connection through sex as well, though.
However, you cannot weed out the ones that are just there for the sexual experience.
That's true. So but I will say, I think, and you had a good situation there where it ended up physically being a match. But I can see how, like, if you're waiting 3 months, your hopes are shooting higher and higher every day. And if that was a disappointment, you know, because sometimes the first time you have sex with somebody, it's usually not the best, you know. And it can get better. You just have to get to know each other, you know, fine.
Well, that's why the chemistry is not there, because there's no emotional connection.
That's an interesting theory.
And depending on how soon you do it, the sooner you do it, the less emotional connection you have.
Sure.
I feel like I connect.
I do think, go ahead.
Through sex. Like, I feel like it just like brings me closer to whoever I'm dealing with. I don't know.
This is obviously generalized, so it might not apply to a specific type of person, but majority of the time you would be able to weed out people who are just trying to have a one-night stand or are just telling you what you want to hear just to have sex with you and then be done, and then the next day they're like, oh yeah, sorry, I gotta, you know, go back to my girlfriend, you know?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, it depends what you want, right?
Right.
You're in a different phase right now. So like, that's totally understandable.
Yeah.
It's totally understandable. You know, Kendall more so is looking for the husband of...
The man.
No husband?
Having a lot of fun.
Maybe tail end of the villain.
That was a test which you failed. I was just trying to see how you respond to that, and obviously you're not ready for a relationship. That's probably why you're not getting it.
I am.
Do you want a long-term relationship?
Yes, of course I want a long-term relationship, and I'm so ready for it. I'm not. I guess where I push back on that is just I'm not, and I don't think that you meant this, but I think that there is a stigma around women, you know, in their 30s that they're like baby hungry, you know, baby fever, and like just trying to get a husband and trying to get and I just want to be clear that is not the case here.
Right.
I of course want to be with somebody that I, you know, feel connected head to toe with and inside and out and all of that. Like I you know, long term, of course I want that. But I'm not, but I have pride in myself and put value in myself, and I'm not just the next available person that comes my way and I'm like, okay, you're gonna take me, okay, great, now I have someone, you know. I I'll keep meeting people until I find somebody that like that really meshes with.
But what is it you're looking for in a guy? What's a high value man to you?
The same thing that every fucking woman has wanted for the last goddamn 6 centuries. It's just someone that makes her laugh. I just want to laugh. I want to fucking laugh so hard that I feel like I'm high or I'm 12 years old. I'm in a sleepover and back me up here. I mean, that's what women want.
No, I
we
agree
want
with that
to
as well.
laugh. That's what we want. We want to feel safe. Do you know?
A provider.
You cannot laugh honestly if you don't feel safe. What comes out instead is the nervous laughter. But if you're in an uncomfortable position and you're in an uncomfortable situation and people, around you, whatever, you can't, there's no faking a laugh.
100%.
That is showing I am at ease, I am comfortable, or I feel seen or whatever. And I just I'm a really there's a lot of weirdness in this girl. And it comes out the most when I'm with people that I feel comfortable with. And that's that's the kid in all of us that's just I just want to be seen. I want to be seen. Yeah. We all just want to be seen. I just want to be with I don't care what package they come in. I just want somebody that really sees me. And to your point, when it turns into oh, you just really want to fuck me and that's it, then it's well, now I just feel completely unseen. Now I just feel very surface level seen and nothing else. And that's a really bad feeling, which is why I think I've had a little bit of a guard up when it comes to men. And, I've held back, what you're saying with this love bombing stuff. It's that's really nice to hear. I don't know if I buy it yet. You got to jump through a couple more hoops before I buy it. But again, to your point with the holding off on sex, mama's got needs. I don't know if I can last 3 months.
Yeah.
Can you last 1 month?
On the side. Yeah, I can last a month.
Have you ever lasted a month?
Yeah. I mean, not by choice, but yeah, I have. Yeah, definitely.
By choice, what does that mean?
Yeah, what was the situation?
Oh, I don't know. You're just not meeting anybody that you want to sleep with.
Oh, that's what you mean.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then sometimes...
So you've never waited a month to have with somebody you actually were emotionally trying to connect to?
No, I'd say depending on how many dates and how far apart the dates were, maybe 2-3 weeks.
That sounds like you went on 3 dates.
Something like that, yeah.
Okay, yeah, no, that's not long enough.
I'm going to try this.
You should. You really should.
But
You'll be surprised.
But here's the thing. How I'm not going to do it with somebody that I'm not going to do it with every single guy because I don't.
Why don't you try it with one guy and then see how it goes?
But what if I don't want to be with that guy? Other than
if you're trying to have a one night stand or whatever. Yeah, no, that's obviously that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about somebody you actually like.
Okay.
Somebody you're trying to be in a relationship
Somebody
with.
you're trying
to
be
in a relationship. Well, that person I've already had with and he's gone. So gotta meet somebody else. That might take
And we're talking about the guy who was emotionally unavailable.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean that's a special circumstance though.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I hope so because it did feel like we were very connected.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I don't I have friends that because I asked this was a few years back where my friends just started getting engaged and all this. I'm what am I? Should I just not be sleeping with them right away? What's the and people are I got drunk and slept with them on the first date and now we're getting married. So it comes in all shapes and sizes, but
yeah, I mean, the
it hasn't worked for me yet. So clearly,
the men in the comments are going to tear me apart for this. But the reality of it is that's if you want to find a guy who's going to be there for you, and then find out who he really is.
I guess
don't
so.
sleep with him.
But I guess I also just feel a little bit a woman's value is not, it doesn't have anything to do with her sex or her sexuality.
Honestly, it has nothing to do with that. It just has nothing to do with it.
But do you see where it starts edging into the territory of what is it? Shit, I can't think of the term, but it's the Mary Magdalene or the Mary, what am I trying to say?
I don't know what you're trying to say.
The
prostitute one or the virgin one?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, thank you. I can't think of what it was. Yeah, but it's I think we still to this day kind of separate women into the pious holy virgin and then the dirty, sexy, I'll fuck her, but she's, I don't have any respect for her kind of a thing. And I don't want, I'm not saying what you're saying is a bad idea. I'm not saying that at all. But it does start edging into that territory of like, are you not going to see value in me? Like, not you, but like whatever guy. Is he not going to see value in me as a human if I sleep with him because I want to sleep with him?
You're overthinking the concept.
I might be, but that's
the problem is men are wired a specific way, and they have been for centuries. It has nothing to do with what your emotional feeling is about, like your sexual existence. It has nothing to do with that. The reality of it is we function differently. Women tend to emotionally connect with men when they have sex with them versus we don't give a fuck. Mm. I could have sex with
right. Well, and you're speaking generally, we have to say, because
yes, these are all general.
Yeah.
I could be in love with a girl and have sex with 20 women all back to back, and then just not have any feelings towards any of them the next day. And most men are that way.
Yeah. Whereas women, it's like, I don't want to sleep with you unless I have that emotional connection with you.
So when you think of that reality, what ends up happening is when men don't have that sexual sort of release right away, they end up having to make that emotional connection. You just have to.
Then aren't they just going to go sleep with other people?
Right. Then they go sleep with other people.
Not the person who actually likes you.
Yeah.
And that's what it comes down to. If somebody really, truly likes you, he won't. If he doesn't, then he will. And that's your answer there.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
but then
it's
you
not
also
rocket
probably
science.
won't stick around for 3 months waiting to get in your pants.
Look, it doesn't have to be 3 months. It could be 1 month. It could be 2 months, depending on how often you guys are seeing each other. But the reality of it is, the reason why I say why it worked for me, and it was 3 months, was because I wanted to see how far I could push myself. Mm-hmm. And that was the first time I was trying it.
Did you talk to her about that? Did you?
Yeah, explain? I said we're waiting. We're not having sex. She was just like why? I don't understand. Nobody's ever done this. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And I was like, there's nothing wrong with it. And I would explain it. I said, this is why we're doing it. She was like, I don't believe you. And I was like, I don't know what to tell you. What the fuck?
Yeah.
You know? But it works.
Yeah.
We connected emotionally extremely well. Some of the best sex I've ever had. And, you know, it worked.
Yeah.
For a while, and then it just stopped working.
I'm going to try it. And then I'm going to come back on here and we're going to have a
little
recap.
For sure.
See, the only problem with this, it's good for you, right? But it's going to tear apart the entire fabric of society over the long period of time.
That feels a little dramatic.
Okay, think about it. Because girls already do this to some extent, right? Like most girls I talk to, if he's a fuck boy, I know he's a fuck boy, one night stand, I'll just sleep with him the first night, right? If he's like a good guy, I see like potential in him, I'll make him wait 3 dates, I'll make him wait a couple weeks, a month, whatever, something like that. But over time, from a guy's perspective, what happens is all the nice guys are like, man, I'm not getting laid. These fuck boys are getting laid all the time.
Well, that's not a nice guy.
What?
That's not a nice guy.
Well, all guys then, I guess. They're going to know, they're going to be, you're rewarding the behavior that you're trying to stop. And I'm not blaming you for doing it.
Well, maybe they should be hotter then.
I'm just saying, it's just the way. And then all these guys, what happens is they turn into boys. You know what I'm saying? Like they start off as
boy.
Yeah. I don't buy it.
They get like it's. Have you ever seen the movie where the humans build the robot to protect humanity, and then the very robot they create turns on them? Kind of like that.
No, because I don't think being kind to a person is not a transaction. It's not, I'm going to be kind to you so that you sleep with me. That's not how it works. Kindness is just you either are or you aren't. And if you can be kind to somebody and respect their body and their values, great. And if you can't because you're expecting some sort of reward for your kindness, then then you're not kind.
Expecting something is just the incentive structure that's been laid out over time.
But that's what I'm saying.
But
there's no incentive to being kind. Just be kind.
No, I'm saying you're disincentivized to be kind in the marketplace.
But no, you're missing it. I'm saying there's no incentive to being kind. There should not be incentive to behaving like a decent human being. Just be a decent human being. Period.
But that's not
no matter if you get laid at the end of the day or not, just be a decent human being. And then people will feel I don't know, more connected to other people.
Towards,
and don't do it with the hope of like, well, now I'm going to get laid. It's just you just are kind to people, and then people are kind back to you, and then you find people that you really connect with, and it's not some game of like, okay, how do I win the game? How do I win the game? How do I win the game? I'm going to be really nice to her. I'm going to love bomb her.
Yeah. No, I agree on you like on a 1-to-1 level with like you or this person, but I'm saying on a societal level, that's what happens.
Sure. I agree that happens. I don't agree that that's right.
Yeah,
I
agree.
think,
yeah.
And I think that we are having these conversations, and we are growing toward, and we also have to be very clear, like a lot of what we've been saying is very specific towards heterosexual relationships. We're not really getting a full perspective of relationships right now, because there's going to be some different patterns in, queer relationships. So we're kind of like leaving out a lot of people, and we also are like, I just think we need to take a moment to recognize that. That's all.
I mean, I know nothing about gay
like
relationships, so I would never
we're
have
speaking
a
from
conversation.
our
about it.
experience.
Can't speak
right
on
now.
that.
Yeah,
Can't
I mean,
speak on that.
We're
no,
speaking
nothing.
from-
We'll never have a conversation on it,
Yeah.
regardless. But you said something that was very interesting to me. What are you attracted to?
I don't know. I like personality.
Do you mean physically, or do you mean all encompassing? What do you mean?
So
like the embodiment like of someone, or
this was also another conversation we were having, which was not everybody is attracted to physical attributes, right? So just like somebody could be physically extremely attractive to you, but then not as attractive to you.
Of course.
right?
So what I'm trying to find is the common denominator, if there is one.
Like an attractive trait somebody has, or
Combination. What would attract you? Like when you go out, or when you are looking on a dating app, or whatever it is, wherever it is you find your guy.
Mm-hmm.
What do you look for?
I like assertiveness. I like people who are straightforward. I like someone who's not going to like mess around. Obviously attractive people. I like attractive people as well, but I do like somebody who's able to just like come up and be able to speak to me and have a conversation and be straightforward, rather than like dancing around, trying to be like, oh,
Trying to trick
yeah,
you.
trying to trick me. Yeah. No, I like to know people's motives early on, I guess. I don't know. I feel like that's attractive.
If somebody's
when there's
interested,
like an open book, I guess. I don't know.
if somebody is interested in you, just come out and be like, hey.
Yeah.
It's hot when someone's like, hey, I'm not really like looking for a relationship, but like I'm really vibing with you. Do you want to like go hang out later? Can I get you a drink? Can I whatever?
Exactly.
Because then your
But
expectations
not too
are set.
vulgar. So
No, I don't like.
Don't call
Hey,
me
do you
a-
want to? No,
No, but
Yeah.
just being honest and saying like I'm connecting with you,
So that
just
doesn't
so
work.
you know,
No.
like this is all I have to give. It's like,
Yeah.
great, I want a piece of that, and
Exactly.
and
because
then
then there's no like blurred lines at the end of the day,
blurred lines are
and
the
you're
fucking worst. It's that
you know what's coming from
in-between
it. It's an
space.
agreement on both sides, and you just
And you
know
can
you
have-
know what you're getting into.
you can have so much fun in these like kind of casual, like I've made really good friends with the people that I'm like, this isn't the thing between, like it's not us, but we still have fun and we have good and we're getting to know each other, and it's not going to last forever. Hopefully no one gets hurt, but as long as you're having honest and open communication, like expectations aren't going to, I mean, I don't know, unless you're like tricking yourself into thinking, no, I'll change him, which I think,
Which does happen.
which I've been there. But no, I think, yeah, just be honest about what you're looking for, and that's fine. And that can change too. That you can say to somebody, hey, I really didn't like feel like I was super available, like, but I'm really kind of falling for you, or opposite, like this was really fun, but I just feel like I've hit a limit and I'm not getting there with you anymore. What I mean, you don't have to say it like that,
Yeah.
but along those lines. And it's like, it's so sexy and it's so comforting, and you don't feel that like same type of like rejection or hurt or like deception that I think I'm sure men get to that point as well, but I think a lot of women who are dating men today are talking about the same types of things. I don't know, like I'm sure you've heard it from your girlfriends. I don't know if you guys have heard it from your girlfriends, but like just this sort of like, I just wish I knew what he wanted. I just wish I knew, like, why won't
Communication
he's hot and
is
he's cold, and he's hot and he's cold. Yeah. And it's like, just, you can, We can all get what we want.
That's bullshit.
We can all get what we want.
Here's why that's bullshit.
What?
I was saying in my mind, but
Yeah.
Which part of it? Tell me which part of it's bullshit.
The part where you don't want to be kept on your toes. And the problem is,
As far as where the relationship's going?
not necessarily, but there is an attractiveness to mystery.
Sure.
Of course.
I'm not talking
course.
about laying all your eggs out,
Yeah.
right away.
I just want to know what your intentions are.
Yeah. Don't.
Yeah, but you could ask.
Yeah. And
You know?
so many times we do. And I'm not just saying just women, but people who are asking, they do ask. And a lot of times it's, well,
I don't really know what I want right now. Let's just hang out and like see where it's going. And then it's like, oh, well.
And it just sucks to hear that when you've already like, wait, I thought this was going well. And now you're giving me like, the cold spell. And it's, like, it's just nice to kind of like get to like chat with somebody like, so what are you looking for? What are you looking for? And I feel like I keep saying, because I'm really hoping that you do know that we're.
No, I understand where you're coming from. So, Payton, are you more submissive or dominant or somewhere in the middle?
I am submissive to the right person. I feel like in my past relationship, I was. What do you mean? No, you as a woman, you have to be able to feel safe and protected in order to be submissive. Like if a man doesn't have any dominant traits, I'm not going to be submissive to somebody who isn't assertive and who isn't showing me dominance.
Yeah, that makes sense. But when a man is dominant and you feel safe, then of course, then you are submissive. Absolutely. So by nature, you are submissive.
Absolutely.
Okay.
But we also have to be very clear about what dominant means, because I think there's that whole like alpha male thing that's like
a toxic.
You have to be like mean, almost like it's like the negging.
No, that's not what dominant.
But no, it's not. I agree. I'm saying there are some boys and men that think that is how they assert themselves and that they're dominant.
Right. Because
I guess it does kind of appear that way from the outside, but then really what you're doing is you're just kind of being a jerk. Dominance is
being a leader, knowing what you want.
Exactly.
Well, yeah, yes and no. I don't think you necessarily have to be a leader.
Those are all attractive traits, and that's when if somebody
being honest, having conversations, saying
that's when I become submissive.
These are the things I like about you, and then you're like, he likes these things, and then you feel secure. You know how sexy it is to feel secure, to be like, I don't have to be like worried about, and because that's not mystery. Mm-hmm. Worrying about somebody and being like, why isn't he texting me? Why didn't he just liked all of my Instagram things and now he's not responding to my text? That's not mystery. That's just like, I'm about to lose patience with you. And if you think that like this tactic is working, you're about to find out real fast that it doesn't. And I'm going to walk away. So it's like, I mean, it doesn't end up working. You might be able to get away with that with like younger women or, more immature people or something like that. But if you're trying to look for a girlfriend, that's not how you're going to get one. Or if you do, it's probably not like a super healthy or mature relationship.
There's some great stuff you guys have been talking about, so I really appreciate it. I think we could go on for another fucking 8 days if we decided to continue. Last question. We're 3-3 on this, by the way.
Yeah, it's tied so far.
Well, it was 3-2, and then you left, and then it became 3-3.
Supposedly, allegedly, bud.
Well, no, I was
allegedly.
up. I was up
allegedly.
One, but then you got one.
Oh, I got one.
When you were gone.
Up one?
Yes.
Maybe.
It's recorded.
Okay.
Roll the tape.
I'm making it up. All right. So, does it bother you? Does the green bubble bother you?
What's the green bubble?
What is the green bubble?
You get a text from a guy you just met. The bubble is green.
Oh, like if they have an Android?
No. Yeah.
I mean, yours
is it a
fucking
red
does all the time.
Why mine does?
I was just having this conversation the other day, and I feel like I wouldn't be able to date somebody who had an Android. I don't know.
You're being serious.
I don't blame you.
Like, I don't know what it is. It's just I feel like we're just not on the same
standards.
Yeah, I don't know. I've always been
what makes you think that you cannot date somebody? Why is it such a red flag?
I don't know.
The guy is obviously intelligent and smart. and that's why he's using
Because
an
of the
Android.
Android.
Obviously a
Are you
scammer.
speaking for yourself?
Obviously a scammer.
Obviously, I'm speaking for myself.
Obviously very patient to be
It's
dealing
a
with all the, you know, the
phone he got
bugs
from
and
the
the
government.
crashes. And the
Right.
Look, I had an Android for forever. I loved it. I thought it was way more intuitive than an iPhone. But especially as an actor, it's kind of, life is just easier being
It's
able
so
to
much
like
more
airdrop,
convenient.
airdrop.
Simple.
Like this, everything.
It is so
Yeah.
much
People
more
who use
simple.
iPhone are
Are
simple.
simple.
And I'm okay with that. I am okay with
Hey.
I
Simplicity.
can do Apple Pay everywhere. We can
Yeah,
do
it makes things easier.
It's
There's
just-
something called Samsung Pay.
See, I
does
didn't
the
even, I
same
didn't,
exact
I didn't even
thing.
know that was a thing.
I don't know either.
Jesus Christ! You
If
guys
someone
are-
told me to Samsung pay them,
See,
I
I'd
this
be
is
like,
not
what
my
are you
point.
talking about?
As simple
I
as
love
you
this
are, so
conversation.
is he. You guys literally think that people who use Samsung or Android that they like live in like
under a
a
rock.
cave. It's like we literally. I have more technology in my phone than you do.
Yeah, you do.
It's insane
no,
to
that's-
me.
We're
that's-
gonna
but I
agree
don't
to
even.
disagree on that one.
I guess
It's
I am
factual.
simple because I don't need that. I'm okay with my little device. That's the same as my computer. So for computer, what do you use? Do you use a MacBook?
I use a
or
Mac,
do you use,
yes,
okay.
but I also have a Microsoft-based computer.
Which do you like better?
Wait, so I have a question for you
Yeah.
then. Because you liked one of my texts or like whatever.
Precisely my point.
How did
people
you
who
do
use
that?
iPhone think that like we don't have the technology. I could do
Because
everything.
when I
scammers,
do
they can hack.
it,
There's- the
when I
scammers
do
know how to
it
hack.
on yours, it'll be like
It
Kendall
sends
like,
as a
Yeah, yeah,
separate
show
text
up
message.
at 8 p.m.
It'll say what?
It'll say like if you're like be here at 8, I'll like it, and then it says Kendall Chappell liked be here at 8 p.m.
That's an iPhone problem. The problem is this.
No, it's your problem.
No,
It's
let me
a-
explain to you
it's-
what. Let me explain to you what the issue is. Apple is refusing to open the floodgates to the technology that we already have.
Right.
Because they're trying to keep you guys in your cave years of thinking that we don't have the same technology, but we do. So that's what's happening.
No, Samsung factually has furthered the technology with the phones. But I will say, and you don't have to agree with me on this, I think when Apple does do it, they do it a little easier. Not Maps.
Simpler. No, I understand.
Not
That's
maps.
why so many people are attracted to it.
Yeah.
Because it's just so simple for them to be like, oh, there's the button. Let me push it. Phone call. Great. Oh,
Yeah.
and then here is the contact. Oh, and then you don't have to do anything else. Whereas I could customize every single thing in my phone.
Yeah.
I don't need that though.
I could
I'm
make my
so
phone
fine
look like a
without
fucking
it.
transformer if I wanted to.
Yeah, but
It's
then
like-
you have to spend like you have to fucking go on Google. Why is my phone giving me the error message? Blah blah. Blah. Reddit. What is the phone doing? You know, you have to do that.
But it
don't.
doesn't
Spending all
have
this time.
errors. Like you think, like
My
my
dad
phone
had
is
an
like constantly.
Android. It never worked.
Which one did he have though?
It was a long time ago. I don't know. But,
But
that
we,
shit
see,
never
we
worked.
talked about this the other day. The operating system has nothing to do with the quality of the phone. Samsung is the leader of Android phones. Google would be another leader, but if he's using like a Motorola, and it's like those are not good
What
phones.
was the one that on planes would just start on fire randomly? That you couldn't have your phone on a plane. Do you guys remember that?
It was
That
the
was-
battery.
No,
That
it was
was a
probably like
battery
did it have a
of-
lithium battery in
I think
it?
it
I was
was
Pretty
like
sure
a
it was an
Galaxy.
Android phone.
It was an Android
Yeah.
phone.
Wait,
It was
I
an
do
old
remember
version
hearing about
of
that.
a specific Samsung phone this is like years ago that they just recalled all those phones. So I mean, you're bringing up a very specific thing that had nothing to do with Android. It's a battery
Seems like
that
a
had
pretty
an
important
issue.
thing. Don't make my phone start
Yeah,
on fire.
but then
Like
Apple phones, like the glass would crack, and then people would like cut their thumbs and whatever. Like you can make an
That's
argument
user
in
error.
anyway. Yeah.
User
User
error.
error.
that's like pretty easy.
All right, so red flag, yes for you. Is it a red
Yeah.
flag?
No.
Okay.
not at all. Not even like a little bit.
No, I guess it is kind of like, like why? But no, I don't care.
So 4-4.
4-4.
All right.
Still tied.
Thanks so much for coming. Really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Thank
it
you
was a
guys for
pleasure to be
watching.
on.